The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed in the podcast belong solely to the hosts and not the host's past, present, or future employers. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's Brian, Miss Berlin, and Mr. Betcher for Breaking Down Security.
Hi.
Hey.
Oh, man. It's been a long week. Actually, didn't have a weekend last week. Yeah, well, yes. The days are flying by.
All the weeks are long now.
Yeah, and it's like Monday, and then it's like blink, and it's Thursday afternoon. Okay, great.
Yep.
So, Mr. Betcher, how you been? I'm going to go to you first because Miss Berlin actually has something outside of our news that we're going to do this week. How has work been for you? Have you had any incident responses or anything that are of interest?
Of interest? Well, none that I can talk about, but yeah, I've had some.
Oh God!
I had a Trojan, which was actually a coin miner / Trojan. That was pretty cool.
Really?
Ooh.
So yeah, they get in and they actually used that. There's a tool called Not My Fault. Many of our listeners have heard of it, called Not My Fault, and it actually Segfaults your machine so you can test certain security type things, and it does a DLL hijack on Not My Fault, which is pretty awesome.
Okay.
I thought that was a brilliant piece of
That's super
malware.
interesting.
Yeah. So Not My Fault is, it's a regular tool.
Mm-hmm.
So they put that on there, and then they put their own malicious DLL, and none of the virus total had 0 hits on the DLL and all that stuff. But then when I uploaded it to our virus company through a private, upload, they analyzed it and they flagged it. And then it started to get on virus total after that a couple days later. It was pretty cool.
Oh, wow. Okay. And this Not My Fault is like add-on software to these Trojans?
No, they just use it to put on there as a dummy to execute.
Okay.
And that allows the DLL to get loaded, which is actually the thing that's malicious.
I see. Okay. So, yeah. Wow. All right.
Yeah. So not My Fault is like the malware analysis tool. Or
exactly.
No? Yeah. Okay.
Well, it is the security tool,
right?
That researchers would use to create a blue screen and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So this is a good guy tool being used by bad guys to help introduce malware onto a system.
Yeah, it's pretty ironic.
Yeah. And then that goes back to what we were talking about with McDouglas. It's like, there's good guy tools and there's bad guy tools, and everything is really a bad guy tool. It's just how you use it. So in the hands of one person, it's a good tool, and in the hands of another, it's a pretty crappy tool. So, well, I'm sorry you're having issues. I would hope it was something.
It's part of the job. It's kind of fun, but that was the coolest malware I've seen in a while.
Okay.
Just because it was a Trojan that could do pretty much anything that the attackers wanted and mine coins. It was one of the features of it. So that's pretty cool.
Any particular coin in, like, are we talking like Dogecoin or Litecoin, or is it Bitcoin?
Probably. I don't know. I don't know which coin it was. Probably Ethereum, maybe.
Oh, okay.
And then, school from home really sucks.
Oh, yeah. That starts tomorrow for me. That starts tomorrow for me. And my daughter has to be up at 8:15 in the morning for her first class.
I feel sorry for these kids, that they need to get with their friends, and it's sad. It's necessary, but
my kids are going in.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, I got some friends in Florida.
But the younger two go to a super small school. There's only, I don't know, 40, 50 kids in the whole school, K through 8. So they can really distance everybody well. Yeah, they like set up classes in the gym and the cafeteria, so everybody's like super spread out.
Right.
So
it might work.
You can't really do that in a public school.
I have a couple of friends on Facebook. Their kids are in Florida, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're happy to go back to 10th grade." And I'm like, "Yeah, give it a week and a half, and they'll be doing Zoom." And I was like, "Yeah, they'll be back to Zooms." My daughter starts tomorrow, and she is very not happy because she was expecting to go, and the school board was all like, "Yes, here's how we're going to do the modified schedule, and you're going to go 2 days a week and whatever." And I was like, "Honey, you're not going to go back to school. They're setting you up for and about 2 weeks after I said that, they sent the emails like, maybe we don't go back to school. And I was like, duh. So, yeah, I apologize. I'm not making light of it. I think it sucks. If you've got 12 kids or, a bunch of kids at home and you have to work, it definitely sucks. And I sympathize with you. So, I've got coworkers that are working, 2 to 8 p.m. in the, the afternoons, and the wife or the spouse is taking the 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. route so they, can switch off with the kids and stuff. So completely understand.
Yeah,
so,
I know a lot of people doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, well,
I just feel sorry for the kids. It's a different world.
Right.
And, it's hopefully we'll get through it back to normal soon.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's crazy, just crazy.
Yep. So Ms. Berlin, you took a class at Wild West Hacking Fest. Was that the Far West Wild West Hacking Fest, or is it the one that started in Deadwood?
It's just through them. Well, it's just through them, like as a thing, like Black Hills and them.
Okay.
Like offer classes all the time, kind of now.
Oh.
Not just during their conferences.
Okay.
Nice. And holy crap, was it worth the money?
What was it called? What was it?
Breaching the Cloud.
Okay.
So it was most like 90% at least attack on, we did mostly Azure and AWS stuff, and it was Bo Bullock, so Daft Hack on Twitter. He taught it. And it was for 4 days in a row, 4-hour spans, and a lot of hands-on stuff, a lot of really, really good information. He's a phenomenal teacher. And I had hooked, somehow he got into contact with like my COO and wanted to work with us on stuff. So I talked to him the week before the class about logging the stuff out. From the cloud when we're doing our labs and stuff. So I was able to get all the logs from Azure and Google during the stuff that we were doing, not AWS because it's for our stuff that's yet to be built.
Nice.
But I was able to pull all that kind of stuff out, and I mean, more than half of it was Azure. So
wow.
That part was kind of cool. Like as people are like attacking and trying to do stuff, like I'll just attack once and let it work, and then go and look at the logs for a while.
And how long did this?
It was super.
I'm sorry, you said it was a 4-hour class and then 4-hour break, or what was the?
4 hours per day.
Oh, okay. So
it was like 10, like like noon to 4.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Last week. Yeah. And like. I talked to my boss about it, and like I pretty much didn't do much other work that week.
Right.
Because you're prepping for labs and you're trying stuff again before and after, and like my brain was fried after all that, because I'm not an offensive person. I mean, I'm an offensive person, but
yeah,
I'm not great at red teaming. So
right.
It's a learning curve for me, I think.
Cool. And these are generally well priced. They're not expensive.
Yeah, I think it was like crap. I have to look. I feel like it was $800 or something, maybe.
That's not awful.
I don't know. No, I know it wasn't super. I mean, my work paid for it, so I'm not. Right. I can't remember. I bought it a long time ago.
Yeah, Bo Bullock, Black Hills
yeah,
InfoSec. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see. Oh, looks like some of the videos are online too. Black Hills InfoSec.
Yeah, they do webcasts too. Like Jeremy and I did a webcast a couple weeks ago about our training, and over 1,000 people registered.
No kidding. Awesome.
Yeah. 1,000 people registered. There's like 600 people watching it.
Oh, damn.
And it was the biggest. And like for anybody that watched it, we didn't prep at all.
Well, don't say that.
Like, I mean, we prepped, but like, because we have like 2 days worth of slides, and they're like, could you give like a 1 hour webcast like on it? So we just like copied those slides over and ripped out like most of it.
Nice.
And then just had like an hour's worth instead of the full 2 days.
That's cool. Okay. So the one you just did with Bo Bullock, it was $395. It was over 4 days for 4 hours, and that's great. Hell, I could almost pay for that out of pocket.
Their trainings, like they are killing it with their prices for training.
Yeah, it says it was sold out, so they might have. It says they click here to sign up for this training at November's Secure West Virginia conference. So they're giving it again in November for $395.
There was around 200 people in the class.
Okay. Let me put this in our show notes. If you're interested in this class again for Secure West Virginia, you can have that class, and I think there was several others that are happening during that time as well. Let me see.
We're giving ours too.
Okay. Fantastic. Let me see. Active Defense and Cyber Deception with John Strand, Advanced Network Threat Hunting with Chris Brenton, Applied Purple Teaming with Kent Ickler and Jordan Drysdale, Modern Web App Pen Testing with Brian King, and Attack Emulation and Red Team, Atomic Red Team with Darren and Carrie Roberts, and then your threat hunting D&D.
Not there yet, but it's yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Very nice. Yeah, all of them are $395. So there you go. If you're interested in some of those, there are links in the show notes. And Ms. Berlin will definitely be giving her link out for her class. If it won't be in the show notes before I post this. So there you go.
It'll be on Secure WV's site.
Okay.
We're already on Wildest Hacking Fest site.
Okay.
We were able, because we switched around some of our lab stuff, we dropped the price.
Awesome.
It was $2,000 and we got to drop it to $1,200.
Okay. Yeah, there's several on the Secure West Virginia site. Cool. All right, cool. All right, so my week went very well. Apparently, I'm a thought leader now.
Ooh.
No, don't ooh me. It's so patronizing. So I was supposed to do this thing in Vegas.
All right, I've been pushing off that title at work. So.
Oh, gods, yeah. I was supposed to do this conference in Vegas in August, the IWCE, which International Wireless Consortium Expo. Supposed to be a panelist on IoT and supply chain security. So, it was well received. People enjoyed it, and it helped that we'd had Alan Friedman on a couple of weeks ago talking about software bill of materials, because it went right into my talk about, how you're supposed to secure your supply chain and help out with that. The problem was being virtual. It was like, oh yeah, you record it, your 10 to 15 minute blurb, and then there's another room where you can go to do questions. Well, there were so many technical issues on the first day, and our talk was at 5 to 6 p.m. East Coast time on a Monday, so of course nobody was there. They had so many technical issues that nobody showed up for the questions afterwards. Not nobody, but we only had like one guy, and he asked a couple questions about some various things that weren't even having anything to do with IoT. And they're not going to share those videos because you have to pay to get them. And I'm a thought leader now, so it's great. So it's about the worst it could possibly be. I'm hoping that they'll ask us back again next year, and it'll be more of an in-person thing. But it was good to get outside of the echo chamber. There's a lot of folks there that need a lot of help understanding that stuff. And there's a lot of folks who speak at those kinds of conferences that could use a dose of perspective. It's almost like, you're in academia for all of your life and you don't really know what's going on out in the real world. And you're kind of in an echo chamber, kind of like how InfoSec is. So I went to that echo chamber.
Amazing how it works.
I went to that echo chamber, and it was kind of a different discussion about a lot of the same stuff. It was interesting. I hope that I don't end up in the same boat as those folks, in terms of technical discussion in the future. But I did my New Year's resolution, and hope that it will lead to more speaking opportunities in that arena. So it can only help,
Very
bringing
cool.
real InfoSec people
Right.
to the masses. So, and then not Monday, the previous weekend, I did this ADKAR class, which was from ProSci on organizational and enterprise change management, and that was really good. So good, in fact, I suggested we do the.
That's why you were asking all the questions.
About?
Change management stuff.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
why.
So ADKAR is an acronym for
Good
awareness.
resource.
Yeah, it is. Awareness, desire, knowledge, ability, reinforcement. And the whole point is, and I'm in this class and I'm watching this and I'm like, wow, okay, this is why a lot of the things that I've been trying to get to happen at work fail, because, I'm taking it all on myself to try to get these changes made, this process implemented, these various fixes in place, and it's failing, and I didn't know why. And there's a lot to that, and some of that we'll be discussing on the 3rd of September, probably the whole month of September, and a little bit more in our book club. And there's a link in the show notes to where you can buy the book. You can either get the Dead Tree edition or you can get the Kindle edition. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk through all the different versions, A, D, K, A, and R, awareness, desire, knowledge, ability, and reinforcement, and talk about sponsors, why sponsors are important, who should be the sponsor in a project. Hint, it's not necessarily you. Communication from the sponsors, an engaged sponsor, according to this ProSci company, who it's a resource org. 70% of projects exceed their goals with an engaged sponsor. And that could be like your boss or your boss's boss or whatever. But a lot of times, if you've ever implemented something and it was kind of half-assed and you're like, oh, well, this could have gone better, perhaps a lot of it is communication and how your sponsor communicated it or didn't communicate it, or got involved and threw their weight behind it, etc. So we're going to talk about that. I think we're going to get one of the authors of one of the books that I got online, Tim Creasy, I think, from ProSci. The other guy sold his part of the company; he's no longer involved. But we're going to try to get them on to talk about organizational change management. So for those of you who are popping shells, you may think it's not important, but you're going to get to a point in your career where you can be like, damn, I'm tired of popping shells, and I want to manage the talent or the people who are popping shells because I want to do that, or I want to get higher up in my career, and some of these things will help because then you know how to play the game. So if you're interested in joining, it's not a long book, since we did the Pact Publishing book with pen testing and AWS, and it took like 48 weeks to get done. We thought we'd try something a little shorter, a little less technical. So there's a link in the show notes to the Amazon link to where you can buy that in Kindle or Dead Tree format. And hope you can join us. All right, so I know it sounded like an ad. The class is $4,000. It's like sans expensive.
Holy crap.
It's okay, though. You can read the book and get enough out of it that you don't need the certification class. And to be fair, the test was super easy. It was like open book. Ask the teacher if you have any questions about the book. I mean, seriously, it was like, So if anything, it'll make you a better PM, or it'll help you understand the game and the rules to hack the game, if you will. So anyway, I digress. So this week we're going to do a little news because we've done a ton of interviews over the last 10, 15 weeks. So
we really have.
Yeah, we did a lot of interviews.
Yeah.
So
we have more coming up too.
Yep. So first on our list is from Bleeping Computer. It says TLS Cert Life is going. You have 2 days left to purchase a 2-year TLS SSL certificate. Mr. Betcher, you said you were reading that one? Or no, you were reading the Garmin one.
Reading the other one.
Right, the Garmin one. We'll talk about the Garmin one. So I picked this one because I was like, I didn't realize that they had actually lowered it. Back in my day, TLS certs were like 7 years old or something, and now they're down to 2. Exactly. And now apparently Apple said, we're only going to allow 1 year plus a month.
Can you get a 10?
A 10-year?
Or was that just domain registration?
That it may be domain I think I misspoke. I think that might be domain registration. I know you can buy up to a 10-year domain registration. But I do remember there
ever 10? SSL certs?
Maybe. I do remember there being some certs that Mr. Betcher and I worked at a place before that we had like 5-year certs. Yeah, they were very long.
Okay. I remember doing 5-year wildcard certs.
Yes, that I think that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was.
Uncomfortable.
Anything for this domain is signed.
Yeah, great idea. So apparently Apple said, we're not going to do that, and we're not going to allow that anymore. And then behold the power of Apple, and they made them so now everything is a year and a month. So you get 397 days of TLS goodness out of your cert before you have to re-up it. And I think Let's Encrypt did something very similar as well. It was like you can get a free TLS cert for a year or something like that.
They honestly, the biggest issue with that is everyone forgets.
Right, and that's where you need to put in a.
So I just think part of the TLS process should involve a calendar entry.
Oh, right. Congratulations. Here's your TLS cert, and here's a reminder on your calendar.
You can't import that until you put this on your calendar.
Wow.
Right.
That would be nice. Make an API call from your calendar to your web server with the...
Right.
Congratulations. Right. You've done everything necessary. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It would be awful to forget that stuff, wouldn't you? And
I mean, how many times have you done it? Because I've done it probably at least 10.
I think I've done it a couple of times. I know our podcast website is SSL enabled or TLS enabled, and it expires in November. And I think that was a 2-year cert. So I'm going to have to go back and figure out with Libsyn on how to get our cert enabled properly. I
had to rebuild my web server.
Really? How come?
Because I also had a version of Python that it wouldn't let me PHP that it wouldn't let me, I had upgrade. Yeah, that's a whole story.
Is it WordPress?
Yeah, it was easier just to roll a new website and restore from backup.
Of cards.
Yeah.
It was all that damn TLS.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah. So Apple has Apple did a good thing, even though it does make it more of a pain for other folks. According to Bleeping Computer's article here, it says allows greater agility when phasing out certs when vulnerabilities are discovered in encryption algorithms, limits a website's exposure to compromise as private encrypted keys would be changed regularly. If a private TLS cert is stolen, 1-year validity will limit the amount of time a threat actor could use it, and it prevents hosting providers or third parties from using a cert for a long time after a domain is no longer used or switched providers. So that's great. I mean, those are all positives. So they said CAs, though, wanted nothing to do with the change and kept pushing back. Weird. That is weird, isn't it? I mean...
Sure about that?
Well, that according to the article, that's what it says.
Yeah, I mean, you would think that they would want... Because, I mean, they make the money, right?
Right. Everything gets signed by them. So, yeah, every year you're coming back to get more cert.
Wink.
Right. Maybe this is a reverse psychology thing.
Yeah. Oh.
They probably paid Apple to make that rule.
Yeah, they've been trying to do it for years, and nobody will do it.
You imagine the conversation between VeriSign and Apple. I'm just going to leave these couple suitcases full of money on your desk, Mr. CEO of Apple. And if they aren't here when I get back, so yeah, no, that makes sense. They say after Apple made the decision, Mozilla and Google came on and said they'd be following the lead. This decision ultimately forced CAs to begrudgingly agree to the change in maximum validity periods. So, yeah. Others are stopping it at the end, 31 August 2020. So you've got till tomorrow basically to buy. Tomorrow being 31 August. This is 30 August today.
Why their stock went up so much. Yeah, I'm going to get my hedge fund buddy to buy 6 million shares if you...
Yeah, it's really important though to have that set up with a reminder. You know, Miss Berlin was joking about the email reminder or whatever, but apparently they say administrators forgetting to renew certificates led to outages, including a Spotify outage. Oh gods, what people can't listen to their music. Arrgh. And or an under.
I would probably be mad if Spotify went down.
I don't.
Depending on what I was doing.
Yeah, I don't use them, so I don't like the algorithms. One thumbs up, and I end up with nothing but damn Beatles music on my channels and stuff. I don't know. I'm old. Whatever. And also led to an underreporting of COVID-19 cases in California. So there's probably some kind of Department of Health website that went down. So, and they do remind everyone that Let's Encrypt does an automated approach for free certs and EFF cert bot to automate installation and renewal. So there are options if you don't want to, go the route of a CA. Let's Encrypt does have free certs if you need them. But sometimes you need a more legit, I would say more legit for whatever reason. So DigiCert or the VeriSigns or, whoever's the Komodos are out there that can hook you up with that.
I gotta say this. If you find yourself with an expired cert, just all of a sudden, either you're not scanning or you're not looking at the scan results, because those scanners will detect that and alert you, hey, your cert's about to run out. So, there's that.
That's fair. Yeah. I think Nessus did have a plugin at one time that would tell you have 270 days left on your certificate or something like that. But
yep.
Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, that's make sure the one thing is though, it's like no, you don't have 2 days left. You shouldn't be using 2-year certs anyway, because then it'll be what's 365 times 2. You'll have 700 odd days before you have to remember that again. As long as you set a reminder.
You're not going to work there anymore,
Right. And, as long as you set a reminder, a month in advance and go, hey, we need to get this updated, then you should be fine. Just make sure you send that reminder to more than one person in case you happen to not work there anymore in a year. They don't forget. So, cool. All right. Thanks, Lawrence Abrams, for that article. All right. Next one. Ms. Berlin, was that one yours? The FBI ransomware Gigafactory Nevada one?
I think it was all of ours combined.
Okay.
You talked about it. I found it.
Yeah. Yeah, I read this one. It's from Electrek, but I'm sure other news stories. Yeah. A Russian national went to Nevada and tried to bribe a Tesla employee. It has now been identified as Tesla. The DOJ originally said a company in Nevada, if you will.
Right.
And somebody disclosed that it was in fact at the Tesla Gigafactory there. Met the employee, who remains anonymous, several times socially before making him, so it actually is a him, a proposition to pay him $1 million to add malware to the internal computer system.
Like, how do you bring up that topic, right? You just randomly bump into the other Russian-speaking person at the bar.
Oh,
speaking of suitcases full of cash,
right?
No, I think this guy originally declined. Maybe they were trying to do it online with some Bitcoin or something like that, and he said, "No, I'm not going to do it." So then the Russian had to fly to the States.
Oh.
Maybe to hand him some cash and try
break
and
his kneecaps. I don't know. Seems like
something
a
like
Russian
that,
thing.
Yeah.
See, the person was targeted though, right? So there had to be something. There had to be something that the Russians thought would be the apple. You know, there was some incentive that made them think that this person was bribe worthy, and
I thought they were both Russian.
It just says 27-year-old Russian citizen, and then an unnamed source or an unnamed employee. Yeah.
Oh, for some reason I thought the employee was Russian.
No,
maybe I read that wrong.
No,
maybe they were. Yeah, it could be a number of things. They just thought that would be somebody who would be willing to take the cash.
Right.
And had access to put the thing in.
I know why I read it wrong. It said, ultimately, I'm gonna butcher this. I'm not even gonna say it. The Russian dude and another Russian-speaking individual who is not named in the complaint agreed to pay the employee $1 million. So there was 2 people involved that were Russian.
Okay, and then a third person who's the unnamed Tesla employee. That's a lot of work to get malware onto a network. Why didn't they just email somebody with it? You know, please open this.
I'd imagine they'd think that. Oh yeah, true. I don't know.
I mean, yeah. I mean, unless
maybe they tried and failed many times, and they decided
it's easier to fly with a thumb drive.
It's probably easier just to give this guy a thumb drive and $1 million.
Yeah.
You know.
The
cost benefit.
Wait a minute. So when was this? Because
August 22nd. He was arrested August 22nd trying to leave LAX. So.
All right, but when did he get here? Because I thought you're not allowed to travel back and forth right now.
Right. Oh, yeah. He could have been here for a year or so or something. I mean, the only thing I could think of is perhaps this employee at Tesla. Some way they have their network set up so that it was super secure that, maybe it doesn't accept email incoming or whatever. But I mean, how hard is it, to set up a Gmail account? Here's the exe or, here's, elfbowling.com or something like that. And that's old school for those of you.
I remember Elf Bowling.
I do remember Elf Bowling. I remember running Elf Bowling in Flash on my computer and then not realizing that there was probably some kind of Trojan in it, but it was damn fun. It was damn fun.
Definitely Trojan.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of weirdness going on with this one. I mean, there's IP obviously involved with Tesla. But I mean, I'm hoping, and I think we talked about this before the show, I'm hoping that the person who worked with the FBI is getting a nice fat bonus this year because, if all he gets is his, hot cocoa sampler or something for Christmas, he's out $1 million. Now, ethically, yes, he did the right thing, but damn, he could have brought, depending on what the problem was there, or what the malware was,
potentially save the company billions.
Right. Because it said internal computer system in order to extract corporate data and affect Tesla's operations. So that would affect. Oh, yeah, you said billions is right because Tesla stock as of August 31st is going to split 5-1. So if you have one share of Tesla stock, you will have 5 starting September 1st. I won't talk about mine. I had Tesla stock back in
thereof.
I had Tesla stock.
Talk about mine either.
Yeah, 2011. I was like, oh, it's only $17 a share. It's not going to do me any good.
I mean, mine paid for what I gained on mine paid for my roof. So at least I got something.
Yeah, it actually costs more right now than Bitcoin, and
that's ridiculous.
And they're still saying even after it splits and it goes down to like $450 odd a share, that they're still expecting it to rise up to another almost $1,000. So
those Robinhood kids are going to buy more and more.
Right.
I think Amazon might be next, or one of the next.
Yeah. What's the old saying? I used to be a millionaire and then I sold my Tesla stock at 17. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So good on that employee. I don't know if that would be the same everywhere. I'm almost certain that with that big a carrot, you could probably entice anybody in this day and age, and this with all the stuff that's going on with COVID to take that $1 million. You could probably go and So good on the Tesla employee, and hopefully whatever the Russians had on that person was not something that was blackmail worthy, because I would have almost assumed blackmail, but sounds like they thought he would be bribe possible. So stalled operations, crippled the company. Yeah, that would have caused the stock to take a dump, and if they shorted the stock when they had launched the malware and caused issues, that would have caused issues. So all right, next story is from privateinternetaccess.com. Go ahead, Mr. Betcher.
Well, this one, they say allegedly that, Garmin had a ransomware attack.
Okay.
And I read another article which says that Garmin may have paid $10 million to get out of that. Now, I know a lot of companies, it is far easier to pay the ransom, because ransoms were, $20,000, $100,000. To a large company, that's not much.
Mm-hmm.
To get out, to decrypt your systems, if they actually give you the decryption keys, it's worth it. But allegedly they paid $10 million. That is a lot of money. Now, a lot of the ransom, we had this whole thing last year and the year before, where hospitals were getting ransomed, right? And that was a big deal. They'd have to pay $10,000 or $20,000 for all these hospitals to get out of the ransom. And then schools, they were attacking schools last year as well. I know one of the school districts about 20 miles from where I live got attacked, and I'm not sure if they paid the ransom or what. And then it was police departments and local governments, right,
Mm-hmm.
that were getting attacked. And now it's companies, and they've upped the ante on the ransoms, allegedly. They're going to start attacking Fortune 500 companies now, right? Because they appear to be just as easy pickings as some of these governments.
Right. And the data that they paid to get back was, really detailed information. So a lot of these Garmin fitness watches have fine GPS location tracking on by default, because, you're running or whatever. Miss Berlin, I think, said earlier the Strava controversy that happened a couple of years ago, where, you have, Joe Army guy running in the middle of Afghanistan in a circle around a base that shouldn't be there. You know?
It's like blacked out on Google.
Whoops, my bad. And it's the same thing here. It's like, Garmin data is down to the nearest meter or 3 feet to be able to run, exactly where these people live, where they go to buy Starbucks, their heart rate, how often, they're doing activities, what time they go to bed, what time they get up, everything is involved with this. I mean, my Withings is that I use for my, my fitness, very similar, and there's a lot of information there that can be taken and used, heart rate information, body fat.
I'd say probably more than with just a phone.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
According to an article on Cyber Security Hub, it took Garmin 4 days to release a statement saying that that attack had been taken place, or that a cyber attack had taken place. I could see that. 4 days, though?
Maybe they had to confirm it?
How many?
I mean, if your systems are encrypted, you're pretty certain within a few hours, right? I would think.
Maybe it took them 4 days to get a new computer so they could issue the statement?
So they could actually post them to their Twitter account? Where's the password? No. I don't know. It's encrypted.
It's on that computer.
Shut up, Bill. I can only type so fast on my phone to put out a press release. Yeah.
I'm trying to do it for my watch. I can't.
Hello, computer.
It's down. Yeah.
Hey, Google, post an incident response for me. Oh, crap.
That's going to do it. It's going to do it.
Nope. I turned it off before it hit. Yeah, I have a Google Home Mini that the only thing I ask it is weather. It's like, hey, Google, what's the weather going to be like tomorrow? That's all I ask it. But yeah, so maybe it took a while. So Mr. Betcher, you said that they actually paid the ransom.
Well, allegedly, that's according to, they have some issues. Let's see. Go ahead and talk, and I'll try to find it here.
Okay. Well, my whole thinking was that depending on who the quote unquote bad guy is, could they not get in trouble for paying the ransom, especially to certain countries? I thought that if you were to say send that money to, I don't know, China or, attacks,
yes,
they could get in trouble.
Basically, it says here, third-party negotiators can act as intermediaries between the hacked and the hackers. It appeared that Garmin paid a cybersecurity firm in New Zealand to assist with the hack, meaning it is likely that they worked as a go-between to legally pay the $10 million ransom without breaking U.S. sanctioned laws.
Okay. Yeah.
So for some reason, if you get a third party to pay the people for you, it's okay.
Sure.
Even though the end result is you paid the attackers.
Right.
Hey.
So that's a loophole. That's a loophole, and they're going to have to close that one eventually.
Loophole.
Yeah. Yeah. They're going to have to figure out a way to close that loophole.
Yeah. And then, of course, the more companies pay, the more that the attackers have to, it's like a startup.
Right.
The more money you get that first customer, and you're like, yes, we can R&D this sucker. We can make our product better. And then we can get more customers and more customers. Of course, this is, you get more potential hacks in this case, and then more people pay, and then you have better malware to deploy.
Could you imagine, them putting
then you
out
can take that suitcase full of money to the next one, right?
Could you imagine, job description out there for a company and it's a little shady looking? They're like, we're in the malware business and we're, expanding our operations and we need security people. So you're going to be the CISO of a malware company or something, Yeah, that wasn't funny. All right. Anyway, so
we'll see, $10 million. That's 10 potential companies they can.
There you go.
Try to bribe.
That's right.
People they can bribe.
Absolutely, yeah. And they could short some stock on a company that makes electric cars, and make hundreds of millions of dollars, or what have you. So
yeah.
I guess it's good that the people at Garmin got their data back, and I hope that, they'll initially see a drop in their stock price, but then, say, oh, we've learned our lesson and we've added real security, and then they'll have better stock price this year. So go ahead and invest in Garmin now, because it will go up, because they've been breached and they've learned their lesson. That was quotey fingers. And, the stock price will go up. So buy now so you can sell it when it goes up about $5 a share. So, all right. So, last story. Yeah. I found this one. I found this one today. It was a hackeroni or HackerOne report about a remote code exec in Slack. And there's a write-up. It was pretty good. It says, with any in-app redirect, logic / open redirect, HTML or JavaScript injection, it's possible to execute arbitrary code within Slack desktop apps. This report demonstrates a specifically crafted exploit consisting of an HTML injection, security control bypass, and RCE JavaScript payload. This exploit was tested as working on the latest Slack for desktop 4.2 or 4.2 or 4.3.2 versions of Mac, Windows, and Linux. So it's a pretty good write-up. There's a link in the show notes if you want to look at the HackerOne report. It was closed. The bounty for this was $1,750. And the severity was given was critical, 9 or 10, and it was disclosed in full. And Miss Berlin, I see...
It seems low.
It seems low. For what seems low? The vulnerability type or the severity type or what?
No, that payout, man.
Oh.
Just think, since business continuity and all with COVID,
right?
How many more pro Slack subscriptions do you think there probably are? They could probably handle a little bit more than $1,200.
Yeah. Well, you're not the only one. If you go and read the NetSec subreddit comment where I found this post. Somebody said, that's really a nice finding, and in my opinion, worth more than $1,750. And then somebody else replied, that's not just your opinion. I'd pay more than $1,750 out of pocket if this wasn't disclosed. It's ludicrous. A company with a market cap of $14 billion can only afford to give a researcher $1,750 for a way to compromise the integrity of their primary product. I mean, it's, that it is what it is. Maybe this will spur people to, change. I think it's good that companies have bug bounty programs, but I think they do need to be somewhat realistic in how much something costs. Maybe, I don't know, would a fraction of a percentage of the gross profits or something make more sense? We're going to give you 0.001 of the gross or whatever, that would be the maximum. So, or $100,000, whichever is better, cool.
Other than some arbitrary number that someone came up with.
Well, at least the guy got paid, or the person got paid. I've seen other bug bounties where it was like, hey, here's a t-shirt from our store. And you're like,
cool, thanks.
No, I know.
Depends on how long it took him or her to get this. I mean, if it was, allegedly 7 months worth of work, I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, I don't know if it took 7 months either, but yeah, I mean, yeah.
There's 7 participants on the bounty.
Oh, so maybe it was
they had to split 1757 ways.
Womp, womp, womp. So looks like it was a chain. So it says Slack awarded Ivar's vids with a $292 bounty. Wanted to get this bounty to you. Thank you for the excellent find. Write-up was top-notch as well. Just wanted to reiterate how much we appreciate your involvement. And then Oscar SV,
that's not even worth it for the write-up.
Yeah, $1,458 bounty. Yeah,
that's a lot of work to write that shit up.
Yeah. Damn.
I would expect more than that for just the write-up.
Yeah. So there was definitely a chain involved in that creation.
So, random thought, if you're ready to switch topics.
Please, let's do that.
Okay. What's your thoughts on using bounty? Like, you see 7 people are involved, right? Mm-hmm. And we're looking for back-end dev, like a good DevOps back. What do you think do people look through this stuff for, scouting?
I don't think
for talent.
That would make sense. I mean, if maybe you could reach out to Oscar SV or Ivar's SVids and find out if they want to be. Well, so there's difference though. You're looking for somebody who can write code. This is a person that, depending on how much code they actually wrote, but is it the skill? Right. Is it the same skill set? A lot of people
that I know that write code also like doing bug bounties.
Oh, I see.
Because they know how to write it, they know how it works, so they can see kind of the flaws and stuff.
Right.
So they might not be just completely exploit driven people. Right. They might actually just be developers that are doing this as a side gig.
Yeah. Well, okay. So if your company is looking for a back-end developer, are there any restrictions to doing that? Let's say your company wants to hire.
You can't be an asshole.
Okay.
That's your only restriction.
Okay. So to give you an example, I used to work for a company, CrowdStrike. I've told people this. It's not anything new, but if you listen to a lot of our older episodes, it's I worked for a company and I didn't want to tell people who I worked for. But so at the time we were looking at doing a bug bounty program as well. I think they have one now. I'm not sure. But we had engaged with private, doing a private bug bounty with one of the bug bounty companies. I don't remember which one. And we told them US only, bug bounty people only, because CrowdStrike, nation state actors, APT1, Fluffy Bear, Fozzie Winkles, aptitude aardvark and all them's, and go ahead. Oh, sorry. I thought I was that. Anyway, so, we set it up and they were like, yes, we're going to do US only testers and whatever. And then we started getting, write-ups and things. And we noticed that there was a couple IP addresses that were coming from some countries that we told them not to come from. And the pen testing was supposed to go over a VPN connection. We were expecting certain IP addresses. And we called out that bug bounty company, and they're like, oh, well, sadly, some of our best bug bounty finders work in these countries that rhyme with Russia. And, those are where our best bug bounty company, people are from. And we're like, yeah, so we told you Americans only. And they actually removed those people from the bug bounty program because there were specific guidelines, like you're supposed to use this VPN and whatever. So one thing, if you're doing a bug bounty program and you have restrictions like that, know that maybe you don't always have U.S. American pen test bug bounty finders. Maybe they're coming from all countries in all the world. And if you have restrictions like that, you need to double check and make sure that's the case. If they hadn't broken OPSEC and not used...
Couldn't they come over a VPN anyways?
Well, they're still going to come over the VPN, but if you have restrictions or requirements like, we're only allowing people from the U.S. or, we're an Israeli-based company. We only want Israeli-based, bug bounty company people, or, we're in Indonesia and we only want Indonesian bug bounty hackers, you should expect potentially to get any country, not just them. So, you need to make sure that that's solid. But you could reach out to those folks that got that $1,750 thing.
Just
find
out.
Thought.
Also, I wonder how many people include that kind of stuff on their resumes.
One of the things that I've been doing at Leviathan is doing the, in our industry, we always complain about the job descriptions. So one of the things I've been doing is, as part of process improvement and maturity at our organization, is rewriting job descriptions. And one of the things that I have made sure that I've added is experience with CTF or bug bounty programs as a nice to have, not necessarily something that, because I'm trying to work on diversity initiatives and trying to make it so that the way that some of job descriptions have been written in the past, not ours, but other ones that I've seen, include things like pronouns that shouldn't be in there, or, this is not really what day-to-day is for an associate pen tester, so, if we're looking for web pen testers, we should at least mention the fact that there's web application requirements, like you need to know how to use burp potentially, or OWASP Zap, or, tamper data or something in a browser. So, I've been rewriting those at Leviathan to make them a little more realistic, getting input from our testers, as wide a range as we can get. And to make them more...
Let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
Is excellent communication skills a requirement or a nice to have for that type of job?
I do believe that I did put in the skills a requirement to be able to explain risks and findings in a way that the customer will understand them.
Because a lot of great hackers, they can communicate from their computer to the other computer and hack the crap out of it. But, being able to communicate person to person is a little challenging, right?
Right.
So just
put anything in, or put anything in Word, like actual writing.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. I've seen people that are super, super, super smart with a lot of stuff, but couldn't draft an email.
Yeah. No, we
to save their lives.
We have that. We have testers that write, and we also have reviews that happen on all our reports. We have a technical writer that we've hired. Her name is Barbara. She's an awesome lady. I actually carpooled with her back in the before times, and she knows her stuff. I actually had her look at our job description to make sure that I didn't unwrite my English good or whatever. I mean, there are some people, it's not just in the writing, it's in the communication. So if you have a readout meeting or something and you go, yeah, we found cross-site scripting, and, here's how I managed to reproduce the cross-site scripting vulnerability. And, and when the customer goes, well, okay, well, I'll just put in the WAF rule to get rid of semicolon. And then you're like, oh, okay, great. Yeah, that's not going to solve the problem. You have to help them understand more systemically why this needs to happen. So, we do that, and we try to help out the associates in our, and mentor them as much as possible to get there. Usually we have a team of people on most engagements, but it's really helpful to get those job descriptions in place and to make them realistic and meaningful. So, you should, write up what a backend, Ms. Berlin, did you write the job description for the backend developer?
I did not.
Okay. So is it realistic?
I was told to edit it if I wanted to, but
did you?
I don't know. I think it's all right.
Better. Yeah. Realistic is.
Should I read it?
I would say yes, because
I read it, but did you find something bad?
Oh no, I hadn't read it.
Okay.
But my things would be like, make sure that what they say they're going to be doing is real. Because, we hadn't updated ours in a while, and there were some things in there that was like, oh yeah, I must have knowledge of, TCP and, DNS and stuff. And I was like, look, wait, no, they don't need that stuff. We laugh when we see that shit on resumes. It's like, oh, knowledge of TCP IP. I'm like, seriously? Everybody has knowledge of TCP, but, do I actually use it in real life? So, we try to make our job descriptions more realistic, and that's what I've been trying to help do. So, we have the associate, which is the basic level, and then we have the mid and the seniors. So, the mid is going to have all of the skills of the associate plus this, and then the senior is going to have all of the skills of the associate and the medium plus this. And, so that's been how I've been working on those. But, if anybody has any thoughts or comments on job descriptions, I'd love to hear them on our Twitter. That's you can follow me at Brian Break, and send me some feedback if you're like, yeah, I want to know how to write job descriptions too, and I'd love to pick your brain. So. I don't have anything else. I think that was good. I appreciate the hardworking bug bounty people who can add that now to their resume, that I found a remote code exec in this vulnerable version of Slack, and that's gonna hopefully help them with jobs down the line. So yeah. Okay, I don't have anything else. Miss Berlin, anything from you?
Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to talk about our feel good boxes.
Feel good. All right. What's that about?
Yeah. So because we have a lot of supporters, right, and sponsors that have given us money, and we do pretty good budgeting, right, and not overly zealously spending stuff for mental health hackers. So we had a bit left over in the bank. We've not traveled anywhere or done anything pretty much this year, other than I think we stopped in February.
Right.
And we've been looking for other things to do, so we've done like Zoom meetups with people, but other than that, like it's hard to find things to do to help remotely.
Right.
So I was talking about one of my friends about it, and he gets these like man subscription boxes, where he'll get like, I think one he got like throwing knives in a plant. Okay. It's just like random stuff, right? And so his idea was to do something like that, but for mental health.
Okay.
And so that's what we're doing.
Nice.
Yeah, we put like a little thing out on Twitter where you can go and nominate somebody that you think might be struggling or might benefit from it. And then Megan and I went and ordered a crap ton of stuff on Amazon.
Nice. That's awesome.
So we're going to put together some of these boxes. And I think so far we have almost 20 people that have been nominated by others that we're going to send stuff out to.
Fantastic. Okay. I was talking before the show, Leviathan, my company, also does care packages. So I've got a plant, I have a cat palm I'm pointing at. You can't see me pointing at it. I'm sorry. I'm pointing at it like people are gonna be like, oh, that plant, definitely. Okay, derp. They sent me a cat palm because it's cat friendly. Because I have cats, and they were like, oh, yeah, we can send you a bromeliad. And I'm like, or whatever. And I was like, well, what about my cats? Will it kill my cats if they eat it? Because the little shits get up there on my printer. And and then the last one they sent us, which worked out really well, was Pinkney's Cookies. It's a Black-owned business here in Seattle, and they do artisan-type cookies that are gluten-free or non-gluten-free. And those are great. So, if your organization is all remote, which most everyone is, maybe you should talk to your HR people, your senior leadership, and see about getting some care packages sent out to your people. I think it would help out quite a bit. But it's not just like Pinkney Cookies or the Feel Good box. Where did you get your Feel Good boxes from? Is there an organization or a company that does those?
Huh?
Is there?
What do you mean? Well, we're putting them together.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I know that we had some care packages that were like from there's a website or something out there. It's like, oh yeah, you can send a care package to a college student or something. So our company just went ahead and
No. Megan and I are out doing it.
Wow. Okay.
We're getting the boxes, we're putting everything together and adding like our own special touches to them and stuff. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, so they're from the heart then. They're very much from the heart.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I didn't want to just I don't know. I wanted it to be fully customizable.
Okay. That's nice.
Plus there's a couple people that I know are struggling with certain things that were nominated. So we bought things specifically to them.
Oh, that's good. Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That's awesome. So is there still time to nominate people, or is the window closed?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't leave, we didn't put a date or time on it to stop getting stuff.
Okay.
Nominations. So
awesome.
We're just going to keep doing it until we feel like we've spent enough money, maybe. I don't know, because we still need to keep some for other stuff. But yeah.
Okay. So,
it'll be an executive decision when we stop.
Yeah. No, that's understandable. Just if anybody's like, oh, I want to find out about Pinkney Cookies, you go to lovethisecookies.com. I put a link in the show notes to that. But on my note, so we didn't have InfosecCampout 2020 this year because obviously COVID. So we, King County, where Seattle is located, is in what they call stage 2, kind of a modified stage 2. You could have camping happen, but it was only with groups of 5 or less, and they had to all be family members. So obviously, we could not do a conference under those kinds of conditions, normal or otherwise. So they gave us all of our money back. This weekend actually would have been when we were supposed to do InfosecCampout 2020. And I went ahead and we got all our money back, which is great. So we didn't have to worry about losing any money in terms of venue or the barn or whatever that is we were using. So I went ahead and reserved all the campsites for 2021. So, as the old saying is good, God willing, the creek don't rise. We're going to have InfosecCampout 2021 at the same place we had it in 2019. And hopefully Miss Berlin will be able to join us then, and we'll have us a nice vaccine, and everybody will be able to sit around and talk about the good old days of the before times, when we had it in 2019. So there will be details coming out about that in the near future, but I want to, get with my board and InfoSec Education Foundation and get everything all, started on that. But the venue has been bought, so we're ready to go. That's probably 75% of the whole issue. So look for more details on that as it's coming up, and it'll be, I think, the 27th, 28th, and 29th of August, 2021. So put a little soft pin in your calendar there. So
yeah, I can't wait to start seeing people again.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. I think it's the problem is I think people will be cooped up for so long. Once we start seeing people are going to go nuts. So we'll see. We'll see. So, Mr. Betcher, we need to probably wrap this up now, but do you have anything else that you'd like to talk about?
I don't think so.
Okay. I appreciate all of you coming on. Miss Berlin, how would people find you? You talked about mental health hackers. How would they find out about you or your tabletop exercise organization?
You can follow me on Twitter at InfosysTer, INFOSYSTIR, or at Hackers Health.
Okay. And what's the tabletop website, Twitter?
We don't have a website, we have like InfosecRoleplay.
InfosecRoleplay.
Okay. But we don't tweet from that a whole lot. We have, I think I mentioned that our name of our new company, right?
It's like InfoSec Training Solutions, something.
Cybersecurity Conference Training. LLC.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah. But I think I can't remember what our email address is. It's like, I don't even say.
Oh, you have it on go to InfosecRoleplay, Roleplay, and I'm sure it'll be there somewhere,
Sure. Yep.
Anyway, and your Twitter is
sure.
Your Twitter is your personal Twitter is.
Oh, I already said that.
Oh, okay, cool. Sorry, got jumbled together. Mr. Betcher, tell us how people can find you and what you're doing.
What am I doing? I'm living the dream, baby. No, my website, blog-md.com.
Awesome.
Check it out. And Twitter is at BetcherPwned. My last name, PWNED.
Right on. And you're still doing the LogMD with Mr. Hacker Hurricane, Michael Goff, doing a lot of good stuff. Awesome.
Yes. Check out the cheat sheets and all that stuff.
Yep. So. So dare I ask, will there be an incident response podcast coming out soon?
I don't know. We've been trying to do one every month, so we'll see.
Okay.
Right on. See how it goes.
Fantastic. Okay. I do the InfosecCampout. So we got 2021 lined up, hopefully. I'm sure they'll call me going, you just reserved a bunch of campsites. What are you doing? Because they did that last year too. I also do a local meetup. They do. It's like, oh, we noticed you.
That's funny.
You booked half the campsite. Why are you doing that? And I was like, oh, okay. Professional conference. Yes, we promised not to drink. That was in quotey fingers. I also do a local meetup here in the Seattle area, but since February, we've been global, virtual. So you can join us for talks. It's almost like a mini con every month. I've tried to have one or two.
Amazing.
It's hard as fuck. You have no idea.
Yeah.
So we have two speakers this month. We have Maurice Brown, who's going to be coming and talking about his experiences dealing with supply chain issues. He works for a specific company that I won't talk about. You can find him online. He's Pwnship, PWNSHIP. And the other gentleman is Jorge. Ooh, good. I know this one. He works for Scythe. CSEC East meetups, virtual on Zoom. So you can go to meetup.com. We're on there. Jorge Orquiles. Oh, God. I hope I got that right. I really hate that. He's at Jorge Orquiles on Twitter. He's the co-creator of the C2 Matrix and CTO of adversary emulation platform at Scythe.io. So we're going to have him on talking. Maurice is here in Seattle, but Jorge's in like the East Coast. So you can come and hang out. We start at 7 p.m. Pacific time. You can join us. We'll be on Zoom. The Zoom is, of course, the BreakSec Zoom, so you can hang out. We have a bunch of people. We always have are you hiring or, are you needing work or something like that kind of thing. So if you're looking for a job or you have a company and you are looking for people, we can definitely talk about that between speakers. Meetup.com/CSEC-East, or just, do a search for CSEC East. It's Seattle Security East, Seattle Security. I run both of them now, so you can't not find it. You can follow me on Twitter at Brian Brake, BRYAN, BRAKE. The official BreakSec podcast is at BreakSec, BRAKESEC. We have a Slack. very active. Book club for the ADKAR stuff, I think we talked about earlier, starts on September the 3rd. Like I said, go to smile.amazon or go to the link in the show notes to get the ADKAR book. You can do the ebook or the Dead Tree version. Still have plenty of time to get involved with that. It'll be a short book for 5 weeks, I would imagine. And I'm going to do that one and come to it as much as possible. So, and it's a Thursday night, so we're not going to try to do it on Mondays, I think. So thank you to all of our patrons. They help with hosting, domain purchase, Zoom, and Libsyn. So every month, we appreciate everybody who helps out with that, and helps spread the word and spreads the educational, value of BreakSec. So got some exciting things coming up. I think we have a sponsor that is going to be able to pay us enough money to do full transcriptions of the podcast, which is one of the things that a lot of people have asked for. Unfortunately, they're very expensive to do, like 75 cents to $1.50 a minute per, for a podcast. So an hour-long podcast is really expensive, and we do it 4 to 5 times a month. So average is about $3,500 a year to be able to do that. So we've got a company coming on to help defray some of that cost. So I'm looking forward to doing some interviews with them, and we hope that you'll give them the time because they're helping us, do that. So it's really great. So I don't have anything else. Catch us on all the major podcast platforms. Please leave comments there. We appreciate the word of mouth advertising that gives us. And that's it for this week on Breaking Down Security. Have a great week. Be kind to one another. Remember, Black Lives Matter. Sorry to hear about Chadwick Boseman. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go have a quick walk, and then we're going to go watch Black Panther again. And take care of yourselves. Be nice to one another. And remember, you're the only you have. So it's important for the mental health issues to take care of yourself. So have a great week, and we'll talk again soon.
Bye-bye.
Hey.
Hey, everyone. Rachel Toback here, Chair of the Board for Women in Security and Privacy, also known as WISP. And I want to tell you about an opportunity to get involved in the community. On Friday, June 26th, the security community came together to lift and amplify the stories and work of Black security and privacy practitioners on Twitter and LinkedIn through the hashtag #ShareTheMicInCyber campaign, which was organized by Camille Stewart and Lauren Zaberick. In response to this campaign, we started raising funds for Najla, who was my partner in the campaign, also known as 4Psy_Q on Twitter, to sit for the PMP, OSCP, and CISSP. We ended up raising the $2,000 to cover Najla's expenses, and we're now moving on to cover as many training, certification, and learning or advancement expenses as possible, incurred by Black security and privacy practitioners in the Share the Mic and Cyber group. As of right now, on July 6th, we have $16,000 raised and about $26,000 in needs for the community. Please consider a donation or a corporate sponsorship to cover these expenses. You can head on over to tinyurl.com/sharewisp for our donation page, or you can go on our Twitter page @wisp.org so you can see the full donation link yourself. You're security minded, probably want to see the full URL. I get it. Thanks so much for taking action, and I'll see you on the internet.